Hello, everybody. Welcome to our special episode of Mondays Are For the Nerds, the seventh annual Dubzcars.
Seventh annual Dubzcars. First annual,
Of public
Dubzcars.
Dubzcars.
Yeah.
Happy Oscars Day. This is, of course, releasing on the day that the Oscars are performing. You might have seen our socials about a month ago, maybe, where we announced the nominations and officially announced that the Dubzcars were happening. To give you a little recap, the Dubzcars are my version of the Oscars, where I take all the movies that released that year within the window, January 1st, December 31st, and I make my own Oscars nominations with the same categories that apply. So there's going to be some movies on here that aren't officially aren't nominated for the Oscars, obviously, and some that are not on here that were nominated for the Oscars that I just either didn't care to see or didn't have a chance to see before the window was up, i.e. The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez I didn't see. But with that, shall we jump in? All right, we'll work our way up to the Big Dog Awards, starting with Best Production Design. The nominations were Wicked, Twisters, Saturday Night, Nosferatu, and Gladiator 2. The Dubzcar goes to Wicked, obviously. The thing I keep going back to is they actually built the train and then put the thing around it. I love the production. I think it should win the Oscar. I love the production design on Wicked so much. Gladiator 2 is also up there, and Saturday Night, but just Wicked was creating the whole fantastical world of Oz. For Best Visual Effects, the nominations were Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Nosferatu, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Any thoughts as you think it is? Venom and Last Dance was a runner-up.
Okay.
Honorable mention.
Sonic. Yeah, but I'm biased, so.
Sonic was I think number 2 or 3 I put down, but the Dubzcar goes to Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, because that was just the monkey they always
the
win,
the whole movie was
Had Better Man, I'd seen that before this, it would also be on this list. But yeah, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, with it being mostly just the CG, and it looked fantastic all around. Best Sound nominations are Challengers, Dune Part 2, Musica, Nosferatu, and Wicked, and the Dubzcar went to Challengers. Obviously, Challengers, one of my favorites of the year. Best Makeup and Hairstyling nominations were Beetlejuice, Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, Hitman, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
I'm gonna guess Nosferatu or Wicked.
Nosferatu.
Okay.
Nosferatu gets the Dubzcars because it completely transformed Bill Skarsgård. Looks unrecognizable. Wicked was up there. Best Film Editing nominations were Challengers, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga, Here, and Nosferatu. You won't see Here on the Oscars because it was not well received, but I love the editing they had with they'd take a shot and then that same location they'd change it to the next period that they were going to go to. The Dubzcar, however, does go to Furiosa, A Mad Max Saga. Of course, it was George Miller's wife that did it. She won it for Fury Road. I feel like she should win this one as well. I don't know if she's up for the Oscar, but she should be. Best Cinematography nominations were Challengers, Dune Part 2, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. Had I seen Conclave, it would be on this list because the cinematography in that is amazing. However, it does go to Nosferatu because of the design, the way it looks, especially the shot of his hand stretching out, encompassing over the town of his shadow. Best Costume Design nominations were Beetlejuice, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, Saturday Night, and Wicked. You have any thoughts on that one? Costume design?
I was personally impressed by all of Wicked's costumes.
Mm-hmm.
Very in keeping with the old Wizard of Oz stuff, but also making
fantastical.
Yeah.
No, Wicked what?
Okay.
I want to see if there was a butt coming. Wicked, I did give the Dubzcar to that because of what you said. It goes to a lot of period pieces usually and stuff. That's why Nosferatu's up there. That's why Gladiator 2 is up there. But Wicked was just it's kind of the production design, making something out of relatively nothing, and also the grand of it all. Best Original Score nominations. If you've heard me on the podcast, you know what's going to win. Challengers, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, Saturday Night, and Wicked. The Dubzcar goes to, obviously,
Wicked.
no challengers. Challengers, which was famously snubbed at the Oscars and didn't get a single nomination.
That was for soundtrack, right?
Score.
Okay.
Score. Yeah, original score.
Yeah, then.
It's like a lot of Wicked was like pulled from the musical.
Yeah, so never mind.
Yeah, original score went to challengers. You'll know this next winner. Best foreign language film nomination, singular, was Flow.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the Japanese dub of War of the Rohirrim. My bad. My mistake.
No, it goes to Flow. Best foreign language film, of course. Fantastic.
Jay had made those posts, and I told him, I said, man, my goal next year is to get you to watch more foreign language movies.
And I'm like, well, last year I did have two nominations. Yeah. Oh, wait, was it two? No, it was one. It was Godzilla. I'm thinking a documentary feature. I wanted to watch another one, but I never got the chance to. Best documentary feature nominations were Bratz, Jim Henson Idea Man, music by John Williams, Piece by Piece, and Superman the Christopher Reeve Story. I considered Piece by Piece a documentary because it is very much...
It's a documentary that they animated.
Yeah. That being said, the Dubzcar does go to Superman the Christopher Reeve Story because that moved me in a way that none of the others did. Best original song nominations were Ain't No Love in Oklahoma from Twisters, Beyond from Moana 2, Compress Repress from Challengers, Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot, and Tell Me It's You from Mufasa the Lion King. I think you've only heard maybe two. Have you heard the Twisters one? Yes. Ain't No Love in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. The Dubzcar goes to Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot. Runner-up was Compress Repress. That's the only time you'll see Moana 2 show up on this list, I will say. Best animated feature nominees were The Wild Robot, Flow, Inside Out 2, Piece by Piece, and Transformers 1. Now here's you got a toss-up. Had I seen Wallace and Gromit, Avengers Most Valid would be on this list.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to be?
Either Wild Robot or Transformers 1 would be my choices.
Or Flow. Oh, for me, yeah, for you.
For me personally, my choices would be
Not
those.
Inside Out 2?
No.
No?
I mean, it was good, but like...
Not Transformers 1. No, yeah.
The vocal performance in Transformers 1 alone.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Brian Tyree Henry. The Dubzcar went to The Wild Robot. Absolutely deserved. And now into the big ones. Best Adapted Screenplay. The nominees are A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Hitman, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Adapted screenplay obviously means it was adapted from a previous source material.
Yeah.
Or, fun fact, sequels are considered adapted screenplays because they're based on characters that were previously created. The screenplay went to Dune Part 2.
Okay.
Or the Dubzcar went to Dune Part 2. Best Original Screenplay, the nominees are Anora, Juror Number 2, A Real Pain, Saturday Night, and We Live in Time, which I can't believe. I thought Saturday Night was adapted until I actually got into research. The Dubzcar goes to A Real Pain with Jesse. I believe Jesse Eisenberg wrote it. It's winning like all the awards. I agree. The Dubzcars for Best Director nominees: Sean Baker for Anora, John M. Chu for Wicked, Robert Eggers for Nosferatu, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, and Denis Villeneuve for Dune Part 2. This one was close to me between three of them. Robert Eggers, John M. Chu, and Sean Baker. And it was very much a toss-up, but I went with Sean Baker from Anora. John M. Chu, a close second. And, of course, Robert Eggers, a close third. Best Supporting Actress. The nominees were Elle Fanning for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked. I do include voice acting in these categories. Mm-hmm. Maya Hawke from Inside Out 2, Katie O'Brien from Love Lies Bleeding, and Kaylee Spaney from Civil War. Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
One for the Wicked. She's like the runner-up in what I feel like the Oscars are going to be. Zoe Saldana is probably going to win. But I feel like she brought the best performance out of all of those, in my opinion. Best Supporting Actor nominees were Yura Borisov from Anora, Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, Nicholas Hoult from Nosferatu, Denzel Washington from Gladiator 2, and Hugh Jackman from Deadpool and Wolverine. Kieran Culkin won, which he's like, again, the front runner for the Oscars. A lot of these I agree with. A lot of them I will obviously pick different ones. Best Actress nominations were Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Angelina Jolie for Maria, Mikey Madison for Honora, Florence Pugh from We Live in Time, and Zendaya from Challengers. And the Dubzcar goes to Mikey Madison. She's the front runner apart from Demi Moore. Best Actor Dubzcars nominations were Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Jesse Eisenberg for A Real Pain, Andrew Garfield for We Live in Time, Nicholas Hoult for Juror Number 2, and Jesse Plemons for Kinds of Kindness. And there's only one real one that's also in all the other awards, so the Dubzcar goes to Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. I feel like it's going to be a tight one between him and Adrian Brody for the Oscar. And then the big dog, Best Picture nominee are Honora, Challengers, A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Flow, Nosferatu, A Real Pain, Saturday Night, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. You have any guesses to that?
Any guesses?
For the Best Picture, the 10 I just listed.
Well, no way that Wild Robot wins both. So that's out the window. I love Saturday Night, but when it's up there with
Wicked,
the rest, Wicked
and Honora and Nosferatu. A lot of these where I'm like, I would throw Conclave in there if I had it.
I'm gonna guess that you went with Challengers.
Surprisingly, no.
No?
Honora,
okay.
Honora got the Dubzcar for Best Picture at the 7th Annual Dubzcars. And some fun facts. The most nominated this year were, I do like catalog that every year, were a tie between Wicked and Nosferatu with 11 nominations each. And the most wins were a tie between Honora and Wicked, which each had 3 wins this year. A lot of first-time nominees. Of course, Nicholas Hoult got 2 in the same year, which doesn't happen a lot. And that is the 7th Annual Dubzcars, hosted by Conan O'Brien. Second year in a row, pulling double duties this year.
So this joke started with the first one all the way back when let's see. So that would have been 7 years ago. So
let me pull up who I know who it was.
That would have been 2018, right? 7 years ago.
I believe so.
And
Find my list.
Jay had
2019.
2019. So this would have been 2019.
Which would have been the 2018 movies. But.
Yeah. So Jay was saying like, oh yeah, it's gonna be this big thing. It's hosted by, I think it's Kevin Hart was the first host, and he hosted twice in a row. And then it would just be this thing where there was no like video or anything he did for us. He would just message us, and every once in a while,
the day of the Oscars.
Every once in a while, as he's messaging us, he would be like, backstage drama as Kevin Hart bumps into.
I forgot about those.
And so it would just be like this thing where we're like, oh man, I wonder who's hosting this year, and then we would pick some random like someone on the level of Kevin Hart
who had like relatively a big year.
Yeah, so it'd be like, yeah, I can't wait for Jimmy Fallon to host the Dubzcars this year.
Exactly. I mean, some other hosts were Sam Rockwell, Jake Gyllenhaal, and Zoe Deutsch. Yeah. Of course, Conan O'Brien 2 years in a row.
And so,
which I picked him as host before he actually became the host.
I would say the joke about the funny thing with Conan O'Brien this year is he messaged us, and I can't remember how long ago it was.
It had to be like October.
In October, something maybe. Like, yeah, Conan O'Brien's hosting, and then like a week, a month later, they were like, yeah, Conan O'Brien's hosting the Oscars. And I was like, dude.
I was like, he's under contract by me. He has to fulfill my duties first. No. I just love doing this every year. It's my own version of the Oscars. Someday we'll be there.
Yep.
Hopefully.
I would love to do my own version of the Game Awards, but I don't play enough games. Because I was like, I'll do it because Jay's doing his thing that, I'll do one. And then I sat down and realized, no, I don't play enough my games.
Games take so much longer.
Yeah, they really do. So...
Whereas a movie, you can just throw it on for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and go.
Maybe someday, though. Maybe someday I'll just be like, I'll get what people's opinions are. And then, kind of.
And then pull your own.
Pull my own.
With all the categories. That's what I do. I copy off the categories. Be looking for the stunt category next year.
Yeah. Hopefully. And hey, hope you like probably the shortest video that will ever be on the channel.
Exactly. I did say it'd be as short as an unedited one.
Yeah.
Or the edited one. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful Oscars day. Hope you have a good Oscars party tonight. Look for our socials. I'll let you list the socials. I never remember what they are.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those interactive things. Tell us what you thought was the best picture of the year in the comments.
Yes.
or any of those categories who you would have chosen personally.
Yeah.
Be sure to follow the podcast on most social medias at Mondays for Nerds. Be sure to follow me, Tristan Stump, at Sir Stumpsalot and Sir Stumpsalot17 on most social medias.
Follow me on Twitter at PoThePanda001, Instagram Chris M Pratt Fan. I said I'm such a horrible co-host because I don't know our own socials.
And he's also on Blue Sky.
I am also on Blue Sky. I believe that's PoThePanda001.
Yes.
Yes, PoThePanda001.
So,
hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you tomorrow for Mondays Are for the Nerds.
yes, it's grand return after,
Yes.
after
Of our
break.
much anticipated return for a tier list.
Yes.
Tease
Look
there.
forward to that tier list.
Yes.
We will see you all next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.